Hi everybody, welcome. Today's video will have a very short introduction because we need to get down to business. As I start this video, I have no idea how long it is going to be. If it gets too long or too complicated, then I may cut it in two and post a part 2. I shall see. So let's get into it. Oops, but before I do, I want to thank a person, and I'll call her JJ, for her wisdom and research. She may even recognize some of her own words in the first part of this video. So, okay, let's get into it. Now, I don't know how many of you actually saw it, but like every other year since and including 2021, there had been articles about olive branches and reaching out and messages through clothing and jewelry and a never-ending story. Well, this year it's all about Harry and Meghan's New Year resolution to end the feud between them and the royal family. So indeed, yes, here we go again. And why? Not for the reasons you may think, but it is clear that Meghan is indeed treading water to try and stay afloat. And by now the water is like an inch from her nostrils, so she's peddling for all she's worth. You see, by putting these articles out that they wish to reconcile with the royal family, Meghan thinks that if and when the divorce happens, she can play the victim. Now I can hear her in her very best Diana imitation voice. I was willing to support my husband and go back to his racist family, and now look what he has done to me. How cruel and ungrateful can a man be? Meantime, by leaking this story that the New Year's resolution is indeed to make peace with the royal family is exactly why the royal family cannot accept them back, because they cannot keep anything private or to themselves. Then there's the other game they are playing, where they leak other stuff, like the Photoshop picture of Archie, not Archie, and Harry with Raymana von Bastelia. Yes, I doubt Raymana compiled the picture. I bet you Meghan or one of her mates or staff actually sent it to Raymana and gaslighted him into posting it. Then, when it got backlash, Harry pretended he did not give permission or would never have allowed it, and the picture gets taken down. Again, the game where they keep throwing shit at a wall, hoping some of it will stick. But then again, if Harry and Meghan are truly separated, maybe he didn't know about it. But never mind, that's a video for another day. Then there is the news that Meghan's father and half-brother revealed that they are leaving America and moving to the other side of the world, likely Southeast Asia, to escape the awful drama of life as the Duchess's father. Now look, I hate doing this, but I think Mr. Markle is either lying, or he's delusional, or he's trying to put pressure on his daughter, or his son is moving and he does not want to stay behind by himself. I am, number one, relatively sure it has nothing to do with Meghan, and number two, to want to start over at 80 and that in another country, oh no, either he is lying to get attention, or there's something else going on. All in all, taking it all into consideration and considering that all of this came out more or less at the same time, I think and feel there's something else going on. Something is about to go down, and relatively soon. Or the hope is that the stories about Harry and Meghan's shenanigans and that of the Markle family will divert attention from what is happening on the other side of the pond. You see, people are calling on King Charles III to dissolve Parliament, but in my opinion, he will not do it. Look, he has the power to do it. You can argue as much as you want, it is written in the law. But, again, in my opinion, he will not do it. I mean, he really actually does it annually, but just in a ceremonial sense when Parliament goes into recess. It had been years and years since a king or a queen dissolved Parliament on their own accord and not at the request of the Prime Minister. Now, I can understand that Charles may be hesitant to do so in fear that people on the other side of the fence will say he's meddling in politics. But you see, at his coronation, he swore on an oath, and I quote, "Will you solemnly promise and swear to govern the peoples of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, your other realms and territories, to any of them belonging or pertaining according to their respective laws and customs?" And Charles answered in the affirmative. Well, you see, Sir Keir Starmer, the current Prime Minister of Britain, served as Director of Public Prosecutions from 2008 to 2013, and it is said that Sir Keir was one of those who refused to prosecute members of the so-called RAPE gangs. Now, as Prime Minister, he and his compatriots are refusing a national inquiry into these GROOMING gangs. According to the Sir, those who are calling for such an inquiry were, and I quote, seeking to jump on the bandwagon of the far right. Oh my word. I mean, ouch. So I'm trying to find British laws which I could apply here, but it is a huge task if you do not really know what to look for. So I'm going to apply what I know of South African law and rules of the United States and so on. Now, Sir Keir refusing to prosecute members of such gangs or to authorize further investigations, in my opinion, please note, my personal opinion, makes him complicit in the horrific crimes of these RAPE gangs. Being complicit in a serious crime in my country is indeed in itself a crime, and someone who is complicit in a serious crime can and has been sentenced for as long as the actual physical offender. And I've seen similar instances in the United States. For instance, where someone helped a friend dump a body, they got sentenced almost as long as the one who did the deed. So according to South African and United States laws, Sir Keir, by not prosecuting the perpetrators of a horrible offence, actually committed a crime. That, I mean, is in very simplistic terms. Of course, there are nuances and circumstances, but in this case, in my opinion, the nuances are to gain votes and popularity among certain ethnic groups. Anyway, in America and in South Africa, in a way, we have mandated reporters, nurses, doctors, psychiatrists, teachers, a whole array of people, okay? Hence my saying, if you see something, say something. These people are mandated to report instances of abuse, or then they are legally obliged to do so. In Britain, however, it appears as if it is not the case, and that such a law or rule or situation does not exist, and therefore Keir Starmer cannot be held legally responsible for whatever atrocities were performed by those he refused to prosecute. And neither can the police or police chiefs who refused to investigate. However, morally, they should be held responsible. Now back to the king. It is not politics for a sovereign and the head of a Protestant church to act under such circumstances. King Charles took an oath to protect his country, its people, and the church, and by doing nothing, he is breaking his oath. People have the right to ask the king to dissolve Parliament if and when they feel that the person or persons running the country is posing a danger to the country and its people. But in my opinion, and I'll say it again, Charles will not do it, no matter what the majority of people want or ask for. Because, number one, he does not have the backbone to stand up for anyone else. Number two, because himself and Keir Starmer are supporters of the WEF and appear to have a lot in common. And number three, King Charles does not and never has cared about the average man or the downtrodden. And finally, number four, the elite is enabling this kind of behavior. I mean, all you need to do is to look back in history, way back, right up to current day. Many of their friends are never prosecuted and their evil deeds swept under the rug until after they are dead. Do I need to mention Savile again as an example? Savile is also only one example. There are many. Now ask yourself, who housed and cared for Reverend Peter Ball after allegations were made against him? Indeed, Bonnie Prince Charlie, and I rest my case. If King Charles does not speak up or do something about the horrific dereliction of duty when it came to these RAPE gangs, then in effect he is worth nothing. Then he is breaking his oath, and then he's nothing more than a face wearing a tarnished crown. But like I said, he won't do anything. So I guess, dot. Remember, it's all allegedly and only my opinion. So I'm asking again, are all these Harry and Meghan dramas and stories and the cooking show, which was supposed to have been axed, etc., etc., is it all a distraction, an organized, paid for distraction for what is really going on. I would love you to mull it over in the meantime, because there are more to come in part 2. Okay, guys, so that's it. I'll see you again soon. Please take care of yourselves. Bye.